Your potential for greatness is not a future achievement. It is a biological heritage, a birthright inscribed in each of your cells. So why do you live as if you were a fearful tenant in your own existence, afraid of making noise, of occupying the space that is yours by right? Before we unravel how to unlock this heritage, a moment. If this spark of recognition ignited something in you, like this video and subscribe. What we are going to explore together may be the key that you didn't even know you were looking for. This feeling of wasted potential, of living short of what you know you are capable of being, is not an exclusive anguish of our frantic era. A man, in particular, dedicated his life to deciphering this universal enigma of self-limitation. Earl Nightingale, an iconic voice that spanned decades on American radio, was not a cabinet philosopher. He emerged from the suffocating poverty of the Great Depression, survived the attack on Pearl Harbor aboard the USS Arizona, and observed, with the clarity that only adversity confers, the crucial difference between those who succumb to circumstances and those who seem to sculpt their own destiny, even amidst chaos. Nightingale distilled his vast life experience and incessant study into a truth of disconcerting simplicity, but of transformative power. We become that which we think about most of the time. Think of this not as a vague desire, but as the description of a deep psychological mechanism. Your mind is like a fertile garden. It does not question the quality of the seed you plant. Be it doubt, fear, resentment, or courage, purpose, clarity. It simply nurtures and grows that which it receives most often, with more emotional intensity. You are already programmed. Incessantly at every instant. The fundamental question is not if you are being programmed, but by whom or by what. Is it by your conscious intention, by your vision of the future, or is it by the random bombardment of negativity, by the alarmist headlines, by the corrosive comparison on social media, by the inherited fears that you never questioned? The contemporary world, with its deafening noise and its incessant demands for external validation, has become a master at planting weeds in this mental garden. It whispers that you are not good enough, that you need more, that you are late, that happiness is always in the next object, in the next achievement, never here. And in the autopilot of daily survival, many of us internalize this toxic programming, actively sabotaging the primordial guideline for growth, expansion, and fulfillment that Nightingale so brilliantly identified as our default setting. And perhaps you know intimately the pain that this causes, that silent internal conflict, the feeling of having a sleeping giant inside you, but being paralyzed by invisible chains. The procrastination that disguises itself as prudence, the fear of judgment that suffocates the authentic voice, the treacherous comfort of routine that prevents the adventure of self-discovery. It is the civil war waged in the landscape of your own soul, where one part of you longs to fly and the other insists on clipping the wings, convinced that the ground is safer. But here lies the turning point, the insight that can realign your entire trajectory. This force that sabotages is not an external enemy to be defeated in an epic battle. It is a part of you, a vital energy misdirected, perhaps an ancient defense mechanism that has become dysfunctional. Nightingale would teach us that the solution is not to fight against the darkness, but to light the light. Stop focusing on what you don't want, on what you fear. True alchemy happens when you redirect, deliberately and consistently, the spotlight of your consciousness to what you want to build, to the person you choose to become. Programming is not a fixed destiny, it is a continuous process, and you have at every moment the power to take command of the keyboard. Authentic action, therefore, begins not with a grandiose plan, but with an internal decision. Which dominant thought are you going to choose to cultivate now? Which mental image are you going to nurture with your attention and your emotion? Will it be the rumination on scarcity or the visualization of sufficiency? Will it be the mental rehearsal of failure or the vivid anticipation of your best performance. Choose a single seed of thought, clarity, courage, gratitude, purpose, and plant it with intention. Water it daily with your focused attention. Protect it from the pests of doubt and cynicism. This is the most crucial and powerful work you can do. When you take responsibility for the quality of your thinking, the internal landscape begins to change. The fog of indecision dissipates, replaced by clarity of purpose. The energy previously drained by self-criticism and fear is released for creative and meaningful action. You do not magically become invulnerable to life's challenges, but your resilience, your responsiveness, your inner strength are amplified in an extraordinary way. You stop fighting against yourself and start operating in alignment with your own essential nature, the one that has always been programmed for growth and contribution. The final question that echoes is not whether you possess the potential to win. That is your innate heritage. The real question is, which seed of thought will you choose to plant and nurture at this very moment, to begin to consciously claim this heritage and stop sabotaging yourself? If this exploration about unlocking your potential resonated deeply with you, if you seek to continue this journey of self-knowledge and construction of meaning, join us. Subscribe to the channel, leave your reflection in the comments. Together, we will continue to unravel the keys to a life lived with intention and personal power. Imagine for an instant the vastness of the universe, the intricate complexity of a cosmic web where each atom dances in perfect synchrony. So too is your inner being, a miniature universe full of unexplored possibilities, of vibrant energies waiting to be released. Neuroscience reveals to us that the human brain, this biological marvel, possesses an astonishing capacity called neuroplasticity. This means that, contrary to what was believed in the past, our brain is not a rigid and immutable structure. It is, in fact, malleable, adaptable, capable of reshaping and reconnecting throughout life. Each new thought, each new experience, each intense emotion carves new neural pathways, strengthening or weakening pre-existing connections. It is as if at every instant you were the architect of your own brain, the sculptor of your own mind. And here resides an immense power often neglected, the power of conscious choice. If we are capable of molding our brain through our thoughts, then the quality of our thoughts becomes the fundamental raw material of our reality. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychiatrist, presented us with the profound image of the shadow, that dark part of our psyche where our fears, our insecurities, our limiting beliefs reside. Often, this shadow operates in the background of our consciousness, influencing our decisions, sabotaging our efforts, whispering doubts and self-criticisms. It is like a computer program running in the background, consuming precious resources, draining our vital energy. Imagine a lush garden full of vibrant flowers and fruit trees. But beneath the surface, harmful roots spread stealthily, competing for nutrients, suffocating healthy growth. These roots are like negative thoughts, limiting beliefs that take root in our subconscious, preventing our potential from fully blossoming. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control, our thoughts and our actions. Epictetus, a slave who became one of the greatest philosophers in history, reminded us that it is not external events that disturb us, but rather our interpretations about these events. Think of two people facing the same challenge. One feels paralyzed by fear, imagining all possible catastrophic scenarios, while the other faces the situation as an opportunity for learning and growth. The crucial difference lies in the way each one chooses to think about the challenge. The first lets themselves be dominated by anxiety, cultivating thoughts of powerlessness and hopelessness. The second, on the other hand, seeks solutions, focuses on their internal resources, and nurtures a mentality of resilience and optimism. This is not a question of superficial positive thinking or self-deception. It is about directing attention to what truly matters, to what strengthens us, to what propels us towards our goals. It is about cultivating mental clarity, emotional discipline, inner strength that allows us to navigate through life's storms with serenity and purpose. Imagine yourself as a navigator in the open sea. You cannot control the wind or the waves, but you can adjust the sails of your boat, choose the direction, keep the rudder firm. If you allow the waves to toss you back and forth, without a defined course, you will inevitably get lost. But if you have clarity of your destination, if you keep focus on the compass of your intention, you can navigate with confidence, even amidst turbulence. Nightingale's metaphor of the mental garden gains even more depth when we understand the influence of our emotions. Emotions are like fertilizers for the seeds of our thoughts. Thoughts loaded with intense emotions, whether positive or negative, tend to take root more deeply in our subconscious, shaping our beliefs and behaviors. If you nurture thoughts of gratitude, joy, and love, you are fertilizing the fertile ground of your mental garden with nutrients that promote the growth of happiness, abundance, and fulfillment. But if you let yourself be consumed by anger, resentment, and fear, you are poisoning the soil, creating an environment conducive to the emergence of weeds such as anxiety, depression, and self-sabotage. The journey of self-discovery and personal transformation is like climbing an imposing mountain. There will be steep stretches, challenging obstacles, moments of doubt and fatigue. But with each step, with each overcoming, you become stronger, more resilient, more confident in your ability to reach the summit. And the view from up there, the feeling of accomplishment, the clarity of perspective, will reward every drop of sweat, every effort invested. Remember the story of the Chinese bamboo. It takes years to break the surface of the earth, apparently without any visible growth. But underneath, a strong and extensive root system is developing, preparing the ground for explosive growth. After this incubation period, the Chinese bamboo grows at a surprising speed, reaching impressive heights in a few weeks. So too is the process of personal development. There may be times when you feel stagnant without seeing immediate results, but if you persist, if you continue planting and nurturing the right seeds, if you maintain faith in your potential, growth will come inevitably, and it will be exponential. The great turning point, the secret to unlocking your maximum potential, lies in the taking of awareness. Realizing that you are not a mere passive spectator of your own life, but rather the author, the creator, the protagonist of your own journey. Taking responsibility for your thoughts, for your emotions, for your choices. It is not about denying the existence of challenges, of difficulties, of moments of pain. It is part of the human condition to face obstacles, to make mistakes, to feel uncomfortable emotions. The crucial difference lies in how you react to these challenges. Do you allow yourself to be knocked down by them, to victimize yourself, to drown in negativity? Or do you face them as opportunities for learning, for growth, for strengthening? Self-compassion, a central concept in Buddhist psychology, is fundamental in this process. Treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and acceptance that you would dedicate to a dear friend in suffering, recognizing that you are human, imperfect, fallible, and that it's okay. The journey of self-development is not a race to perfection, but rather a continuous walk towards your best version. A journey of self-discovery, of self-acceptance, of self-transformation. A journey that is worth being traveled, at every step, at every breath, at every new dawn. And now, stop for a moment and reflect. If your potential for greatness is really an innate heritage, inscribed in each of your cells, what are you going to start thinking, feeling, doing from this very moment to honor this heritage and live a truly extraordinary life? If you felt the call to embark on this journey of transformation, to unravel the secrets of your own personal power, to live a life with more purpose, meaning and joy, join our community. Leave your comment below sharing which seed of thought you commit to planting and nurturing from today. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue together on this incredible journey of self-discovery and growth.